if you could say something to President Trump and he was going to hear you right now, what would it be?
You are a worthless pile of shit.
And you voted for him how many times?
3 times. That was my bad. Apparently, I'm an idiot.
Hey, this video is for all the MAGA people and the people who still support Trump. You're either one of two things at this point. One, at best, you're either just choosing to remain willfully ignorant and burying your head in the sand. Or two, you never actually gave a fuck about anything or had any real values at all. You just wanted your team to win. And you want me to tell you how I know? Because they just come out and told us that the first 7 days of this war in Iran has cost the American taxpayer $11.3 billion fucking dollars. And for the last 6 years, all you motherfuckers have been talking about is spending our tax dollars on waste, fraud, and abuse. The left will say some shit like, hey, let's give kids a free lunch at school. And you guys will go, well, no, it's not my fault that their parents are lazy and don't want to get a job. I shouldn't have to pay for somebody else's kids. You say shit like, oh, I'm pro-life because I care about kids and I'm a Christian, but you ain't have nothing to say when your tax dollars are used to send over a fucking bomb to an all-girl school, killing over 100 of them. We had to listen to y'all talk for 4 fucking years about cheap fucking gas. Look at the fucking gas now, dumbass. I don't know how many fucking times it's gonna fucking take for this motherfucker to look at you and tell you he don't give a fuck about you before you finally start fucking listening. Oh, that's right. It's because you never gave a fuck about any of that shit. You only cared about your team winning. So I just got one more question for you. Are we great yet?
You didn't get a wall. You didn't drain the swamp. You didn't get affordable health care. You didn't eliminate the national debt. You didn't get new infrastructure. You didn't get Hillary Clinton locked up. You didn't get Epstein accountability. You didn't get a $5,000 Doge check. You didn't get a $2,000 stimulus check. You didn't get lower grocery prices. You didn't get help buying a home. You didn't get America first. You didn't even get peace. You lost family, friends, and credibility. So what did you gain?
MAGA voters who supported Trump are now facing a reality check they never expected. For years, they believed that their vote would protect their future, lower cost, and make life more affordable for everyday Americans. But today, the decisions they supported are now hitting their own livelihoods. Gas prices are rising. Groceries remain painfully expensive. Healthcare has become unaffordable. And for many, they never thought that it would come to affect them like this, but it has, and it's only getting worse. So let's get to see more reactions. Then I'll come back with more commentary, all right? Let's dive into it.
Where all these supposed now ex-MAGA, because starting a war in Iran was your line, right? It was your line. January 6th wasn't your line, right? Okay. All the stealing, right, wasn't your line. The alleged wars that he stopped, but he was actually bombing people, right? And we're not going to even talk about the files. We ain't going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about the files. This is the line. And you want to be forgiven. Because now you've seen the lie. And you realize that he's not a Christian. He's none of the things he said he was that y'all believe. Well, nope. I have no forgiveness for you. I'm sorry. Like, especially y'all that voted for him not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times. No. You get no forgiveness from me. And I don't know who else is with me on this. But no. And those of y'all crying because you have a child in the military that may have to go do this. No. I'm sorry for your family. That y'all, I don't even know that I care. Honestly. Your racism. You loved what he was doing when he was letting people of color die on the streets. You loved what he was doing when he built Alligator Alcatraz that now the federal government is refusing to pay the state of Florida for. The feds owe the state of Florida $604 million, and they're not paying them for this Alligator Alcatraz that they constructed. That so many of y'all got on 75 South to go take pictures in front of the sign. So no, I got no forgiveness. Nope. Not a one. Your cult is dying. And some of you are seeking someplace to go. You're seeking refuge in the very people that you called names. I got some names for you, but nope. Stay over there. Keep your regrets. Your regrets. Keep them. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. Woo! Okay. I'm gonna calm down.
MAGA regret is a trend. And just like buyer's remorse, I anticipated that this would happen. There was no way that people willingly made this decision and they were actually fully educated in their decision. They considered all options. They considered all possibilities. They considered the impact that this could potentially have. Or they even glanced at 2025, Project 2025. They didn't. And so some of this was about, and so I get it. Do I feel like the government entity as a whole might not always benefit the American people? Yes, I do think that. Do I feel like sometimes politicians trump regular average people like me and you? Yes. Do I think that people attach themselves to the idea and concept of the fact that a billionaire could potentially run America better than politicians? Yes. And I think that what people did was attach themselves to the dream that they could potentially have access to that amount of money, that they could potentially get into this environment where Trump was going to change the status quo of how we live, how we eat, how we breathe, how we operate as a country, and how the government operated specifically. I think that he led with that because that was the emotional appeal that he could attract so many different people. Even after he disrespected so many different nationalities, said so many different offensive things, has been in very compromising situations when it comes to women as well. Y'all still voted for him. And so now I'm starting to see all these videos that are, it's like a trend where it's like MAGA regret. And so there's all these people that are going through the reasons why they are regretting voting for Donald J. Trump and how they didn't understand that whatever decision making he was going to make, that it would impact things that are so closely related to what they need, what they depend on, what they do on a daily basis, maybe even their employment, their livelihood, the employment, livelihood, and dependency of their loved ones, whatever it is. I stand in solidarity with the 92% and say, we told you so. And the thing that I'll continue to say and scream to the mountaintops until I can't say it anymore is the hate of the black woman is so strong that you will willingly sign up to jeopardize your livelihood, your normalcy, the livelihood and normalcy of so many other people, your ability to live comfortably. You would give all that up versus allowing a black woman to be in charge. The funny thing about all of this is America knows it more than anything that black women are the most powerful people on this planet. And the problem with that is if we allow the black woman in the White House, we empower black women across the world to stand flat-footed, take charge, and start running things everywhere. We'll start to see a movement. We'll start to see black women rising up in all types of leadership positions. We'll start to see those timid black women, they'll find their voice. They'll find their power. They'll find their strength. But they don't want that to happen. That's a movement that they want to prevent as much as possible. But 92%, I know we got something brewing. I know it's coming. Just wait and see, babe.
If you voted for Trump or you're coming back from that MAGA Republican thing, I'm not telling you what to do or what to think, but here are 3 things that I would recommend. The first thing is that a lot of people are going to be mad at you, and you just kind of got to sit with that and let it go. Lord knows my life has been a mess on many occasions, and I do believe there's always room for people to come back and to make some change and to be a better person and grow. The second thing is that you've got to get out there and repair some of the damage that is happening. A lot of people are hurting right now because of the things that Trump and the people in his administration are doing. That means a lot of folks are going without food, they can't pay their rent or utility bills, and many people are afraid to go to the store or do anything else because ICE might come terrorize them or grab them. Whether they are a citizen, whether they are undocumented and have been here for years trying to contribute, make a good life, whether they are an asylum seeker that is fleeing violence in another country or some other combination. It doesn't do any good to sit in shame and silence and hurting and worrying about stuff and judging yourself if you could be making some change and some action. And truth is, you're going to feel better if you do it. So I recommend putting down the news cycle and social media and doing some work in community to reinforce your neighbors wherever you may be. The third thing is that Trump and the people in his administration, particularly the DOJ, the FBI, and some of those other agencies, have made it very clear that they recognize they're deeply unpopular and they can tell that people don't like what they're doing. They're making life worse for all of us, and they know that they're losing because they don't have good ideas, policies, or actions that make our lives better unless you are a billionaire and hanging out with them at their big parties. Trump and the DOJ have already said clearly that they don't want all eligible voters to vote, just the ones that agree with them. So that means they're going to harass and persecute anyone they think is a political opponent. You know, we've seen that already, and we're going to see more of it this year. That means that we need people doing elections protections work to make sure that our elections remain free and fair. What you can do, contact your local elections clerk, your school board member, your city councilor, county commissioner, etc. Hit them up today and just say, like, this matters to me. I want everyone's voice heard and vote counted. That's what matters. Where can I help? Common Cause is another great option, and they have chapters in a lot of places. If you can't find a local elections or democracy protection group, you can just start a meetup in your neighborhood or your area. Don't wait for someone else to pick it up. Start having that conversation. Start thinking about how you can protect people who are voting and making sure that it works. I guess I'll just close by saying once more, there's always room for people to come back and to make some change and be better and to grow. And you can move in that direction today. We all can.
For many MAGA voters, this isn't just about politics anymore. It's personal. It's about waking up every day and realizing that the cost of living has not improved the way that they expected. It's about going to the gas station and feeling pressure every single day they fill up their tanks. It's about standing in grocery stores, watching prices stay high, and wondering how things ended up here. Because beyond the economic struggles, there is also a growing realization about the broader impact of the choices that were made. Some voters supported policies that they believe would hurt other people, particularly when it came to migration and deportations. There was also a belief that those decisions would only affect certain groups of people, but now the reality is showing something different. When policies are implemented at a large scale, the consequences don't stay isolated. They ripple out. They affect communities, economies, and the system in ways that many people did not anticipate. So today, some of the very people who once supported those policies are starting to feel those effects themselves, and that's where the regret is coming from. Elections don't end on a voting day. The real impact of those decisions play over time in policies, in economies, and in everyday life. What you are seeing now is a moment of reflection, a moment of realization, and the question moving forward is, what happens next? Will this change how people think? Will it influence future decisions? Or will it lead to a deeper understanding about how policies affect everybody, not just a selected few? So only time will tell, but one thing is certain. People are paying attention now in a way they were never doing before. And when that happens, perspectives change, and the political landscape itself can begin to evolve. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.